Hey everyone! So I'm going to be real honest with you today. I don't know what this video is about. Have you ever just had so many ideas going through your mind that you can't think, that nothing is working? So it started, I was going to show you my signatures for how I put them together for the colorful journals. That went with, well, I kind of need to know what my cover's going to be. Okay, well, what are you going to put on the front of your cover? How much is going to come out before you can trim down your papers? And it just kept snowballing till I figured out one thing, that I'm going to use the covers. I'm going to back them with fabric. In between, there's going to be bubble mailer. That's all I know. I've fiddled around with, will there be a big pocket on the front that maybe I use some of this fodder on, and then I put maybe a really colorful little notebook in it, so I don't know. Too much happening in my brain that I can't settle it enough to do a video. So I thought, well, I'm just going to start recording, and I got that idea from Little Man Navy. He jumps up this morning, stretches real big, lets out a big scream, not an unhappy scream, just a, like, "Roar," just a growl, like, "Here I come, world, ready or not." And I thought, you know what, Navy, you got it. Sometimes we just need to charge in, just do it. So that's what I'm doing with this video. I am just showing you some things that I've been kind of playing around with in my head. And fodder, I love this fodder. And these were inspired by Trashy Treasyours. I'll link her her channel below, because she has so many different ones. And I think if bright and happy, not like my grungy is it, that's my happy. But if bright is more your style, definitely check her out. She's so good. So here's my covers. I don't even know. I have so many, I don't even know which ones I'm going to use yet. I did pull out some heavier cardstock. Maybe just latest little. These are little. They're for soap. I guess, um, like maybe stenciling soap, or leaving the pictures on soap. But I got them, and I use them like ink little stamps. Got them at the secondhand store. But on the outside of the bag, it said something about soap, making soap. And there, looky, there's little head. Isn't he cute? So I have some of this heavier cardstock, and I thought, well, I could make the little folder or little journals, like notebooks that you take with you, to put that in the front pocket. So I pulled out some of those for different ideas. And you can kind of see a lot of this is going in a flower direction unintentionally. And then I pulled out some of my Art by Marlene's. I love her crazy drawings, and these are die cuts. I love these. So we may use some of that. But I do know what my papers are going to be. And I thought, well, maybe I could show you how I'm going to put those together. And I did make some collage pieces. I did our grungy scraps again. I sprayed them and did all the things, only in a brighter style. And I've been cutting out things for those. I'm going to show you a couple of pieces I cut out, but I can't. Oh, here's a heart, and I think I want to sew around it in black and leave strings, and maybe do some squiggly to keep it a little bit on the grungy, but still bright and happy. So that's some things I'm working on. Look at his little hands. Aren't they cute? I love him. So I'm going to use a piece of this paper, and this is watercolor paper, on just notebook style paper. So I'm going to use, that will be one of my sheets for sure. So that's one sheet. And I think this journal is going to end up having like 20 pages. So I've used that. I also used, I'll just show you from this one. I used some of our pretty paper that we redone. And I've used just some pink paper that I got from the secondhand store. It's a great weight for writing. Perfect. And I use some scrapbook papers. And you can see this has a little flap. And I'll show you why I did that. I'm sure you may already know, but here's some more scrapbook paper. Some lined of our dyed papers. This is yellow paper like the pink paper that I got also at the secondhand store. Some Florentine paper. Some more dyed paper. This is a digital. More dyed, just a piece of it. And this won't probably be in the ones I sell. I did this. This one is mine. So I didn't mind that there were scraps and pieces in it. Here is that watercolor paper. This is a digital that looks like an invoice or a journal ledger page. I think this is a digital as well. Blue paper like the pink and yellow. More sprayed paper. Packing paper. Lined dyed paper. And one of the envelopes that we done, junk mail envelope signatures like we done on Sunday. This was the white one that I hadn't decorated yet. It has little pockets. And then a really pretty watercolor digital in the center. So that's, I think, what I'm going to make our signatures out of. So I'm going to put one of those together while we're chatting. I wanted to say, before I forget, Laura, I mentioned in the last video that a friend had said to use food coloring to dye your papers. I was thinking, I said I'd used food coloring like to write with, but the kind in the little tubes like that you write with, that won't work. Laura said they're not pigmented enough and you won't get much color from them. The kind that I feel like the viewer was talking about, my friend, was in a little pot, apparently, and you get them from Hobby Lobby. So, and also Laura said if you do use those, be sure and wear gloves because they're very pigmented and you'll be wearing color for a week if you don't. Let me show you another thought I had because I love vellum, and I have this really cool vellum that like has different colors in it. And I've always done vellum as my first page to journals. So I did pull these out. I'm not sure if they're going to be my first page because I don't know. Ever since I tea-dyed wax paper, I'll show you a piece of that. I actually pulled out a couple of them. This one's tea-dyed. This is wax paper. Listen, isn't it wonderful? And it just seems sturdier than the vellum. Here is a piece of blue tea-dyed, and as you can tell, there's not, you can see it on the edges, but it kind of just turns out more of a grayish color. And here is a piece of the hibiscus. That is the red hibiscus tea. And I actually have some of that. I'll show it to you. This is it. It's called a hibiscus flower tea. And I get this from Amazon. I think it is in my storefront. And then I use the butterfly pea, P-E-A-T, for the blue tea. So I'm thinking about using this, the wax paper, instead of the vellum. Because like I said, it seems sturdier. And I don't know, I may just end up making some pockets or something out of the vellum. I still want to use it, but it may not be my first page. And something to note about the hibiscus tea is on normal paper, normal copy paper, scrapbook paper, whatever, it doesn't hold that beautiful pink red color. It turns more of a light gray. It only held it on that wax paper, which I thought was interesting. Oh, and doilies and lace, it stayed a pretty pink. Anyway, back to the food coloring. Thank you, Laura, because seriously, I didn't know that. I had not tried it, and I didn't know there was little pots of it. Oh, And by the way, Karen, thank you for letting me know about sharpening, making my box knife sharper. She said just take some pliers and snap that tip off, which I thought that was how you done it. And I had tried it, but I guess I wasn't putting enough muscle into it. I was afraid I was doing it wrong, so I was afraid to just, snap. But after she said that, I thought, okay, that has to be the way. So I did it. Sure enough, snapped right off. I have a sharp box knife now. So thank you. I know that seems like something I should have known, but I just didn't. And then we did these, this one is a digital. And here is the ledger digital. It's kind of more of an invoice, not a ledger. And I just have different colors of these, so I'm going to use one of these. But in our colorings, of the papers, and I had some that were, I said that the Distress Oxide was powdery, and Karen said, or Kelly, sorry, said that, she'd been junk journaling for a long time and didn't know that. So that's why I kind of try to share what the comments say, the people, friends share, because not everybody reads all the comments, and there's just a lot of great tips that you all share that, most people don't think of, or I didn't think of. Now this is, I said before in my book that this was a digital. It's not. It's a scrapbook piece of paper. And how I did this, got this size, was it was a 12 by 12. And I just took it, folded it in half, like this, and tore it. But I think when I do it this time, I'm not going to do this seam real heavy because I know that it's too wide, and I'm not measuring, it's tearing. I know that it's too wide, and to get the size that I need, normally I do a template, but I have my cover here, so I was just using it. So I just take it, see what size I need. That's where I'm going to do my fold. Like that. And then I just fold it in one side of, or the other, because I didn't want to, just tear off a strip. I liked it. I thought it was pretty. I wanted to keep it like so. Plus you get a little side tuck. So that's how I done those. And that's this one. I've already put a pretty good crease in, but I can still change it. It doesn't matter. It's not like the end of the world if it has a crease. I'm just gonna rough guess it here. It would be a lot easier if I had done a template, but I didn't. So I'm gonna fold part of it in and make a little tuck spot. Make sure it fits, and it does. Okay. So there we have it. And it wasn't so bad that it makes a difference. So there, that's how I did the 12 by 12s that were too wide. We have our digital, and a lot of the papers that I pulled out were floral. For whatever reason, I ended up with a lot of floral papers that I pulled out. Guess that's just, let's see, let's do this one on the other side. So I thought while I was putting together these signatures, and again, I'm not trimming them yet because I don't really know the full size of the outside of my journal till I know, because I tend to leave the fabric out from the edge, which gives me a little bit more room. Plus, I don't mind that papers are hanging out. I kind of like that look. So I thought we could just chat a little bit. Oh, and I wanted to say, thank you, Susan. Can you believe I edited that whole video, published it, and didn't even realize it said tags was spelt wrong? How silly, my word. So thank you. It's kind of like when you go to town and you have something on your face and none of your friends want to tell you because they don't want to hurt your feelings that you have, you know, something between your teeth or booger on your face. So nobody tells you. My goodness, that or just nobody noticed. I don't think people would do it to be mean. So there's another tuck spot. And then I've got some Italian paper. So thank you, because honestly, I had looked at it, typed it, looked at it, published it. Everything was great. Wrong. It was wrong. So thank you, Susan. I do appreciate that. If I mentioned before about that Marta had said a good way to get color into paper was re-inkers. I think I did mention that in the last video, but it's just really like that. This paper, like I said, I got it at the secondhand store, and it is such a good way. I did realize, and the reason I'm making one of these for myself is because I have a lot of journals, and we discussed last time that you need a lot of journals. You need journals that you just want to glue and draw and play in, and then you need writing journals and, you know, what have you. And I realized, because I try to keep down, and this one is tore, I'll probably use a piece of my distress tape. Might do it right now to fix that, because I love this paper. It's very pretty colored. So let's grab some of that distress paper. Distress tape. I was saying that I realized I really didn't have a lot of journals that were just had a lot of writing space. They were all very pretty papers, but not really so much that you could write on them. Some of them were more texture for me, which I love texture paper. And if I do this again, and I will do it again, I'm going to put this on my sticker paper. I've been doing that, and that works great to put this tape on there. Peels off a lot easier. It peels off of these kind of pages well too, but not this particular kind that I used. And I'm just seeing how big of a piece I want. Got a little piece here. I'm going to use it too. And then I'm going to run it over my glue stick. Give it some more sticky. Put it on the inside. Just love the way that looks. Is that a little hole? Yep, that's a little hole too. So I'll just fix that right up. But so I realized I really wanted one that had a lot of writing pages. And so that is how come I'm making one for myself. That didn't look like it went all the way through, though. It just was on. How's that possible? That there's a hole on one side? Or did I glue it back together, maybe? Anyway, I need to get this back up so I can put some... Look, and I'm ripping it. I guess they adhere better than I thought they did. That tape. So that's how I'll just fix ones that have holes. Something like that. So anyway, I needed another one. This one's kind of cool. Look, I sprayed this one, and the sheet on top of it or below it, it might have been, yeah, on top of it, I guess, had it was like a ring binder. So the little holes all the way down, you can see. Isn't that neat? I love that. And I didn't have a piece of this dot paper in mine because I only have 5 sheets, and I knew I was going to make 5 journals for my store. So I wanted to save that for those books. I didn't put one of these in mine, but I do love this paper. So that's a piece of the dot paper. I have a piece of the lined here. I think I put 2 pieces of the lined paper in mine. Yes, I did. I think because I was doing one with more of the purples and then one to show the other, to have with the other colors. So this one would probably be my first one. Then a pink paper. And 2 of my little folded ones. Hope I'm in screen here. 2 of my folded ones. I'm going to turn this where the flaps are on the opposite sides of my journal. Then I put one of these. And another colored. I'll probably use the blue. I had another digital. Oh, there it is. Another digital. Actually, I think, yeah, I think before I do that, I'm going to put my Florentine paper. I like that look. I put the Florentine, then another digital, maybe another piece of this, or maybe I'll use this one, my dot paper. And the yellow. And actually, mine had 20 because I used some scraps that, like I said, they were tore. So I will use some bigger ones on this one. Maybe something like this. In here. And let's see, maybe this one. No, let's do this one. I like that. Then my little invoice and my dyed paper. Maybe my packing paper. Let me get my envelope. I think I like this envelope to go with it. Then I'll probably set it under something heavy for a while because they're pretty crumpled still. And I'm not going to tear this off because I might fold it for tucks. I may tear it off. I'm not really sure. I haven't made it that far yet, I don't think. Okay, and I think I'm going to put a piece of this hibiscus on the wax paper. Ooh, just because I love the way it looks and sounds. And then I did have more of these colored papers in here in mine to make the 20. So I'm just going to look through, see where would be a good spot, and add some more of the sprayed and like distress ink papers. This one's pretty. Maybe that would be. That look good there? Yeah. And it has a few tears that I will also repair. I mean, some of the edges and these pieces, I won't fix that because I like it. And even though this is a bright journal, it's still going to have some grunge to it. It can be grungy and bright, right? You wouldn't necessarily have to put tape on both sides, but I like it that way. Okay. And that's got some kind of turquoise or blue color in it. I'm not sure you can see it, but... So I need one more spot for another dyed piece of paper. A grungy or dyed piece of paper. Maybe somewhere in here. Ooh, what do we think about this one? That's grungy. And kind of grungy and bright. Both. And I think that will make us have 20 pages. Oh my goodness. That is 20 pages. So that is what my signatures are going to be like, I think. Now, I am going to not cut them down or do anything to them until I'm for sure about my signature. Because, I'm for sure about my cover. And, you know, it may just be that this is too much for these covers. I don't know until I actually do the bubble wrap and the fabric. I think they're going to be fine. I definitely think they're going to need a closure because look at all that goodness. Even though I'm going to smash them down, they're still going probably, after they're filled with all of your things, they're still going to gator mount. I could actually probably do 2 signatures of 10 apiece. I don't know that that's really going to make much difference, other than I really would have to make a different sort of spine. You know, like my spine would need to be more, plus I'm going to lose a lot of my, I don't want to do that. I think I'm just going to make it one big signature. I don't know, what is your thoughts? Would you do 2 signatures and just lose some of the cover, or what would you do? Because that is going to be, but like I said, in my mind, these are writing journals. And I don't know how full of ephemera that you would make them. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put ephemera in mine. Mine is just ideas. I might have a separate one. I mean, not to say I won't put any pockets in it, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. What would you do? Would you make a more rounded spine or square spine and do 2 signatures? Or would you leave it as one and just, I don't know, I'm sure I'll get mixed votes because everybody likes something different. But I thought I would show you where I was going with this project, and like I said at the beginning, sometimes you just have too many ideas and you just have to walk away. You know, when we can't think, no ideas come, we walk away. So it has to work if I have too many, right? So I really think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk away from the colored thing for a bit. I'm going to go back to my normal, and maybe that will start inspiring me with, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Here's your ideas. Or maybe when I shut off the camera, it's going to come to me the perfect thing to do. We just don't know, do we? Anyway, thanks for watching and all my jabbering, and I would really greatly appreciate your thoughts and ideas. I hope you liked this, maybe got inspired somewhere along the way. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.